And away we go. Wait till you get a load of me. Ha! Orange and blue today. Wednesday edition. Cecil Lammey talking about the Denver Broncos. How about a little canned rock music? Everyone alert. We're doing it live. We're doing it right here, orange and blue today. I just got back from the Broncos facility, and I love where this team's headspace is at. Like, absolutely love and appreciate where the Broncos headspace is at. I'm going to get into that and more, plus unsung heroes for this Broncos team. But as a top 10 team in the NFL, and that's right. You even look at the ESPN power rankings, right? And I always used to make fun on the air of like, it's time to complain about power rankings. Well, guess what? Not complaining about it, just talking about it. And you got to be about it as well. It is Cecil Lammey, new studios, part of our new studios, by the way. This isn't our final look by any means, but as a top 10 team in the NFL, can the Broncos stay hungry? I'm here to tell you yes. Emphatically, yes. There is no doubt, there is no question that the Denver Broncos can do that because of how the leaders have taken to the young players have taken to the leaders on this team. And can they stay hungry? The hungry term was used today by Garett Bolles. Unprompted, by the way, because I knew this was the topic I wanted to talk about. As odd as it may seem for some, this team at 6-5, the locker room feels the same as it did at 1-5. And this is also a team that does not stay away or shy away from their past failures. This isn't a team that focuses on it. I won't get too crunchy on you, but like, what do you focus your time and attention on? What do you focus your energy on? The Denver Broncos are not focusing their energy on what we're saying in the media, on even some of the fans booing them when things weren't going well. Like, we have to talk honestly about this team, seek the truth and speak the truth. Like, yeah, everybody wasn't just, they'll be fine. No, people were up in arms. The team stayed steady, and most importantly, Sean Payton stayed steady. Mike McGlinchey told me today as I talked to him in the locker room, and I asked the question like, hey, you guys seem really steady in this locker room, regardless of your record. Does that come from the leadership of veterans like you? And he, is like, oh, I mean, I guess so, but we got a lot of good leaders in this locker room, and that's the point. Like, this isn't just a few guys that are Sean Payton guys and trying to lead the way, or these aren't just a few guys that are new guys. You have old guys that have been here a long time, that have been losing for a long time. Justin Simmons, Garett Bolles. I'm very proud of Garett Bolles. I mean, my God, the things that he's had to overcome in his life just to get here and then to make it to the league, but then to thrive in this league, and not in a 2020, no fans in the stands, COVID year type of way, but in a way where he's, you're now thinking of extending Garett Bolles. Very proud of him. That's exactly what's happening with that Broncos left tackle. I was going to call him a young man. He's not a young man. He's a seasoned veteran. But you've got multiple players at multiple spots, new guys, old guys, young guys, experienced guys, practice squad guys. That's unsung heroes coming up in a little bit. But can they stay hungry? You bet, because they have unfinished work. That's also kind of a message that's going around throughout this locker room, and it's an organic message. It's not a situation where coach is telling them and hammering it into their head yet, where that's all they're saying is you got to think of, you got to do this. These guys are naturally doing this. One of the things, I'm getting chills just talking about this. So it's amazing. Absolutely outstanding what this team is doing, because you got a bunch of guys that love ball. Okay. And at the end of the day, I mean, I love football. Football is my life. My family is first. My faith and football, that's me in a nutshell. The Broncos have found a lot of guys that have faith in each other. They have faith in Sean Payton. They certainly have faith in Vance Joseph. PJ Locke talked about that today. So you got a bunch of guys that are focused on the same thing. There's an old thing in motorcycles. As someone who grew up on motorcycles and I have motorcycles in my blood, there's an old saying, if you see it, you're going to hit it. If you stare at it, you're going to hit it. So, if someone pulls out in front of you and you're in traffic, don't stare at them or you're going to hit it. It happened to me personally up in Fort Collins on Mulberry. I was going to get a Snickers, I think. On a 7-Eleven, I was riding my motorcycle. Some girl pulled out in front of me and I just stared at her car. I hit her car. I flew into oncoming traffic. I was okay. I didn't get hit, but obviously that was a pretty bad motor. It's probably my worst motorcycle wreck. I've been in 3 of them. But like if you stare at something, you're going to hit it, both good and bad. So with motorcycles, you always think constantly of how to get around something. In football, you think of like, this is going to work. It didn't work. This is going to work. It didn't work. This is going to work. You're 1-5. This is going to work. Now you're 6-5. Why? Because it worked, because you had faith. The Broncos have faith in each other. There's also another word, love, that they have in each other that Garett Bolles brought up as well. But Bolles, unprompted, talking about this team being hungry, it's exactly what I wanted to talk about today, because the feel of that locker room is they're not too high on the highs. They're happy for winning. They're excited for winning. But as Mike McGlinchey told me today, it's better to learn from a win than learn from a loss. And they're learning. Think of all these important lessons. These are life lessons here from the Denver Broncos, not just football. They are staying true to each other. They're staying true to their love for each other. They love football. They love playing together. They believe in the coach's message. They have faith, and they're sticking with it. They have that sort of, mindset, if you will, where they're not focused on what the media is saying. We were crushing them. Fans were crushing them. They're 1-5, and I understand there's a segment of fans. I run into them once in a while on Twitter. It's like, you're so wrong about them. Yeah. Well, what do you want me to say when they're 1-5? No, everything's great. They're going to turn around, everybody. Like, no, they weren't playing good football. And the frustrating the thing was you had talent. You still have talent. You got a lot of talent. Now that talent is coming through, but it's because they stay together, right? They stay with the message. They stay strong in their belief and their faith in each other and their love in each other. And I think that's incredibly important, because you have 53 men going towards one goal and focusing on one thing, not paying attention to what the fans say when they're booing, not paying attention to what the media says when they're doing this, because that's what the media is supposed to do. All right. We're not team propaganda. We're not just going to tell you everything's okay. Again, you don't want to go overboard with the negativity, but at the same time, you can't just have your eyes covered. Just because you ignore bad things doesn't mean bad things aren't there. Okay. So again, the Broncos are giving you these life lessons because they've stayed focused on the goal. The goal is beyond the regular season. Sean Payton had said it. We had a couple lattes talking to what's his name from USA Today, Jarrett Bell, fine NFL reporter to be sure. But he said, I'd be pissed if this team doesn't make the playoffs. Guess what this team's angling to do? Make the postseason. So that's what you do, but you do it because you have a belief in each other. That's the great thing about this Broncos team, is they did not get down. They did not get downtrodden. They did not get down on each other, as difficult as it was. And what Mike McGlinchey told me today, when I basically asked him, like, how have you guys stayed so steady? McGlinchey said Sean Payton, there was never any panic with Sean Payton. And McGlinchey did bring up the Dolphins game. And who doesn't want a wild card rematch in Miami against the Miami Dolphins? You want that? I want that. I want to see that. Broncos won't lose by 50. The Broncos may lose. Dolphins are a tough team. But wouldn't it be great to go give them a little humble pie? Wouldn't it be great to go kick their ass in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium and get revenge in the postseason when it matters? Regular season, you beat us by 50. Yeah, fine. Beat you in the wild card. That's much more impactful and much more important than an embarrassing loss. McGlinchey did bring that up, and they did not back away from it. And I think that's also another important life lesson. This is Orange and Blue Today. It's life lessons with Cecil Lammey. Well, with the Denver Broncos, they're the ones that are teaching you. So just listen to what this team is telling you, because McGlinchey didn't shy away from that. He said, hey, you go get 70-point, embarrassing. But there wasn't any panic from Sean Payton. And that also is a great lesson, because they could have easily panicked. They could have easily had fired Vance Joseph. They could have. Some could make the argument that, surprised they didn't. I certainly was calling for it. So when people say, you were wrong about Vance Joseph, good. What do you want me to be, right? Hey, the Broncos defense coordinators is slappy, everybody. Or would you rather have the story of they turned it around? This is a much better story. Oh, I was wrong about the Broncos. Fine. Good. I'm glad they're better, because they've had the talent to be better. They believe in their coaching. Most importantly, I think they believe in each other, and they love each other, and they know that this will work. Sean Payton has a unique coaching style. He's a bit of an aloha, okay? I've called him a tyrant. He is tyrannical. He does run things his way or the highway, but the results are there. Again, results-based business. Bill Belichick can be an aloha and they're not winning. That's why Belichick might, step down this year. They're going to fire him. It's not all Mac Jones' fault, although Mac Jones is a slappy, allegedly. No, Belichick will step down most likely this year because his message isn't working anymore. Sean Payton, the message wasn't working early, but they stayed with it, and now it's working, and now guys are buying in even more. So, when you're 1-5, maybe there were a few cracks. Maybe. I personally didn't see him, and I'm in that locker room every day it's open to the media. Andrew Mason didn't see him. He's there in the locker room every day it's open to the media. He's on the road with this team, right? So people who have been constantly around the team, because I understand there are people who just kind of guess from afar, I think the Broncos are doing this. No, I'm going to tell you. I told you when that locker room was split with Wade Phillips, even though Wade denied it publicly. I was the one saying, yeah, this locker room split. Well, guess what? This locker room never split, ever split. And as I spit up on my computer, they didn't split, but I'm spit. Listen, this team stayed together and they stayed now buying even more into what Sean Payton is doing. It's simply outstanding. It's absolutely outstanding when you think about it and consider where this team's been, where they're going, and what could be next. That's where you get a little excited, right? And come a W or an L on Sunday, I think we've all learned, and any sort of advice I give for people, Broncos fans, etc., is always for myself first. This team, W or L on Sunday, I'm not going to get too high with the highs, not going to get too low with the lows. I'm just going to know that they're learning. It's an important aspect to look at with this Broncos team because Mike McGlinchey talked about it. And one of the most important things about a team is, can you learn? What did you learn? And how are the Broncos learning? What did the Broncos learn this season so far, right? And that's a big question for this team. And it's something that I think they learned that Sean Payton's style works. I think they learned that they can believe in each other. I think they learned that their defense can get turnovers and make plays. I think they learned that they should lead things on the ground. They are a top 10 team in the NFL. They're the hottest team in the league. They were 1-5. We're talking about Caleb Williams. And now they're the hottest team in the NFL pushing for a postseason bid. It'll blow your mind, okay? But this is the roller coaster that we sign up for when we say, you know what? I think I'm going to be a football fan. Well, as a football fan, as a football analyst, I think it's great. I think the roller coaster ride is simply fantastic. I think that Sean Payton's message is coming through loud and clear for this team. And it's Payton message that is then echoed by Justin Simmons, by Garett Bolles, by Russell Wilson. The guy who doesn't get enough credit. Is the offense simplified? Yes. If you say any different, you're not paying attention. Okay? And that's not a shot at Russ and nothing like that. Okay? But we're going to tell the truth. The truth is they simplified the offense. I don't care. It's working. Hey, he only makes 2 reads and run. Well, stop it. To the defensive coordinator that said that, get off your ass and stop it. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. And this also is not an offense that Jarrett Stidham could run as good or better. Okay? Enough with that. Crap, garbage opinion. Jarrett Stidham, no. Russ can still be special in moments. You set up moments for him to be special. Russ mostly needs a handoff, throw it short, take some deep shots here and there. But when you need to make a play and it's 3rd and 8 and the play you dialed up didn't work, now you go into Russell Wilson mode and he can still do it. Jarrett Stidham can't do that. Jameis Winston couldn't do that. Winston's statistics are similar to Russell's statistics, but I'll still take Russell Wilson in crunch time over 30 for 30. Jameis Winston, I know he was much better under Sean Payton. But the point is, the misconception about Russ had to eat the biggest humble pie of anyone out there, of anyone in all of football. Who else would have done that in this day of ego, in this day of brands, in this day of, social networking and Instagram videos, in this day of, the Russell Wilson brand. I mean, look at everything he had. It had the store, which is now at the airport, I think. He's got his, Russell Wilson and 3 brand. Let's hit threes. Let's ride. Like, he should never say that again. I believe, I think they were talking about it on the drive. Like, let's ride. If they make the playoffs, should he say let's ride? No, that was last year and it was terrible. And Russell Wilson already knows that. And he knows it without saying it. He's done it without saying it. He's done everything his coach has asked him to do. Whether it's resulted in good things or bad things, he's done what the coach has asked him to do. And there's so many misconceptions about Russ because people just hate him for whatever reason. There are some reasons that are absolutely terrible. If you don't like Russell Wilson because you don't like his style of football, that's a style thing, right? It's a taste thing, whatever. Get down how you get down, baby. I'm not going to tell you, right? You'll be all right. I'll be all right. Russell Wilson will be all right. When you don't like Russ because he's cheesy, that just stop being ignorant. Like, that's the point. Russell Wilson has put everything to the side. Russell Wilson has put the ego to the side, the ego that even his Seattle teammates, Richard Sherman somewhere yelling about Russell Wilson right now. Get over it, Richard. Sound like Tommy Boy reference, right? Like, we have to talk about the now. Who is Russell Wilson today? I could give a damn what he was last year. We all know it wasn't good. I could give a damn about his quarterback coach and the people, team 3 in the building. I could give a damn about that. They got to win now. Their football games now. They're basically in the playoffs now. Okay. And they've been playing playoff football for a month longer on this win streak. And honestly, it was Kansas City game on Thursday night that they lost. Like, they've been playing backs against the wall. Their backs have been against the wall for over a month and they're kicking everybody's ass. And they haven't even played their best football. They haven't even peaked. They haven't even been close. Like, this team has not, it's not like they've played like that 95% games, like everything's going their way and they're playing perfect and the perfect game plan. No, they're playing about 75% of what they could. Think about that. They're playing about 75% of what they could. But Russell Wilson has turned things around and he's done it himself because he's listening. Like, the truth about Russell Wilson is something that some may find uncomfortable. And the thing is, as a believer in the truth and only seeking the truth and speaking the truth seems belligerent to those who don't believe. The truth may seem something like outrageous, like you can't believe it. And there were all of these notions, again, even from his former teammates, of, Russell Wilson's this egomaniac. And from Seattle fans, shut the hell up. Okay? You got enough to worry about. You got Dallas going to kick your ass on Thursday night. Geno Smith banged up. Hopefully Drew plays. I wouldn't mind seeing Drew Locke have some success there. But Seattle fans, memo to Seattle. Shut up. Okay? Stop. Enough. Oh, Russell Wilson, ever since he married Sierra, he's gone downhill. Enough with that garbage, nonsense opinions about Russell Wilson. What is he doing today? What is he doing today? Is his celebrity status or Sierra's celebrity status impacting his play on the field? No. Was it impacting his preparation? No. Was it impacting the results on the field for the Denver Broncos? No. So fans are just saying that in Seattle because they're bitter. Like, you got to let it go. Russ is gone. Geno's okay, I guess. You're probably going to move on anyway. Like, Seattle, let it go. Perhaps shut up was too harsh. Okay, I don't want to get any notes from corporate. Be like, hey, Cecil, could you stop telling fans to shut up? Just Seattle fans, because they've gone over the top with this Russell Wilson hate. And I'm not even a Russell Wilson defender. I'm the only person he's ever puffed up to in the media. Okay? I've seen the real Russell Wilson. That guy's a fiery competitor. He wants to win. You know what Sean Payton wants to do? He wants to win. You know what they're doing together in a shared moment? They're winning. And that's advantage Broncos. So I want to talk about what Russ is doing now. Sound like Scooby-Doo. Ruh-roh. Russell Wilson. Like, I want to talk about Russ today. And what is he doing now? He's winning games. He's being humble and he's doing what his coaches are asking him to do. And when he needs to be special, he can. It's a perfect recipe. I wish they would have done this in week 1. I guess they needed to find out. I guess Mace and I have already talked about that. And Mace did bring that up. Like maybe they needed to find out. I mean, I guess you had all the spring and the summer and training camp to realize like he can't really run what you want him to run, but you can still win a lot of games with Russell Wilson. And if he can be special in special moments, guess when the most special moments are? The postseason. Imagine going on a wild card play and going and beating the Miami Dolphins in Miami, and Russ is special on a special day. That is the postseason. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's what's setting up for this Broncos team if they continue to win. So do not buy into the philosophy of it's okay if you drop a couple. It's okay if Houston beats you. That's okay. Detroit beats you. That's okay. To hell with that. Nonsense, garbage, dog trash, whatever I got to say that I can't say. Like, no, win them all. 12-5. Go win them all. Again, not sure they'll be 12-5, but it's still a possibility. Why are we talking about anything that's not 12-5? It's not okay. You can lose a couple. No, go leave no doubt. Again, Denzel Washington, leave no doubt. That's what you got to do if you're the Denver Broncos, and they're set up to do just that. As orange blue today, Andrew Mason is on assignment. I am Cecil Lammey, your host, and I've got to tell you about the Rolling Stones. Listen to 104.3 The Fan for your chance to get Rolling Stones tickets. Rolling Stones Hackney Diamonds Tour presented by AARP. It's June 20th at Empower Field at Mile High. We're giving away tickets on 104.3 The Fan. I know you got it locked on The Fan, baby. Where Broncos country goes to hear about the Denver Broncos. It's 104.3 The Fan. Make sure to stay tuned. We're giving away Rolling Stones tickets. Hackney Diamonds Tour. It's sponsored by AARP. Again, June 20th. At a power field at Mile High. I feel good about this team. I feel good how this locker room is very stable, about how they're very focused. I like that. I want to see more of it. I imagine that we will as this team continues on under the guidance and direction of Sean Payton. It is orange and blue today. Mace will be back tomorrow. Again, we're working with the Broncos schedule, so I sneak away so I can do the show. We'll do the show together tomorrow and Friday, of course, preparing you for this monumental game against the Houston Texans. So as always, do the YouTube things, please. We're growing our YouTube channel. We really, really appreciate all the love and support on YouTube. Lots of growth on YouTube. We appreciate it. So do the YouTube things. It helps out the algorithm. And if you've chatted in the chat room, make a comment down below as well. That helps the algorithm and spreads the love to more Broncos country, man. We love you. We want the Broncos. Let's go kick some ass, man. Right on. Let's do that on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you never miss a vid. I'm Cecil Lammey. Follow me on whatever. I'm at Cecil Lammey. Appreciate you all. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And as always, stay frosty.